In this After Effects tutorial, I will show you how you can use a simple expression to delay your animations. I created a few examples to show you what can be done with a simple setup using an expression and a very limited number of keyframes. The project file for this tutorial will be available in the link using the description below, so you can actually dig in and see how I built all the examples as you can see on the screen. Let's say you have a basic animation. Everything goes from left to right and you want to add a delay to create more interest. You can do this by hand by offsetting the keyframes or using a script like shift layers to simply offset them. Now, the problem is that if you change your mind about how much you want to offset the keyframes, for example, like 3 frames, you have to keep going back and forward and using the script to do this. Another issue is if you change the easing on one of those keyframes, you want everything to match, then this will become more and more problematic, because then you have to adjust them one by one and try to match it, copy paste and so on. It gets complex very easily. You can do all of that much easier with a simple expression. And the expression I'm using is basically value at time. So let me explain. I have only 3 keyframes and this whole motion is driven by this expression. So if I change the duration or spacing of those keyframes, everything adjusts on the fly. So how can you use the value at time expression to do this? Very, very simply, if you think about setting up a rig with your expressions. So what's going on in here? So if I look at the positions, you can see every single square has an expression applied only to X position. The Y is left empty, so I can easily adjust it. And let's look at the expression in more detail. So first, I'm specifying the source. So this is my variable that will be used to drive everything below. So in this case, I'm looking at the layer using index value. So this layer is looking at this layer and so on and so on and so on, all the way to the one that drives the animation. By using the index and -1, I'm simply looking at up the layer stack. Then I'm specifying how many frames I want this animation to be delayed by. Now, we have to convert this value to actually composition time, otherwise After Effects will assume we want to use seconds. So we're using a simple conversion, which is this frame duration. And the best part about this is this is very flexible because this will work with any composition in terms of frames per second, be it 24, 12, 60, and so on. And the last part is it's putting all of this together. So I'm grabbing the source layer, which is, let's say, this square above from this one. Then I'm trying to access the position property, and then I'm grabbing the value at time of this property. And finally, I'm subtracting a delay from the current time. So what happens is everything is nicely delayed by a specified amount. And this way I can easily adjust the keyframes and all the other objects will follow with the same motion, with the same easings and so on. So I can adjust all of these values and everything will update. Now let's make this a bit more flexible because I don't want to go into every single property and adjust my delay. I want this to be controlled from a single space. So how do we do this? By simply utilizing a null with a slider, we can create a much more interesting animations because of 2 reasons. One is that all the delays, let me just bring up the expression for you. There you go. So all the delay values I count for all of these layers are being controlled from a single space, which is the null with the slider itself. And 2, as you can see, I have some keyframes on the slider itself. So let's go back to expression and let me explain. As before, I'm just defining my sources. So my control layer and the source layer, which will drive the whole animation. Then I'm specifying the variable for the delay, which is this slider, doing the conversion to the composition time, and then finally using the source, which is I'm using the index -1. So every layer above the currently selected layer is the driver of the animation. So number 3 drives the animation for 2, number 4 for 3, and so on, all the way till this one. And then I'm accessing the position property. So if you look at the other transforms property, I'm accessing the position, then ValueAtTime, time minus delay, and then I'm just simply grabbing the X value at the end, because this piece of code will output 2 values, because it's in the position property, there are 2 values. So I just want X, and all of that is being applied to, well, X position. And the beauty of this is if I decide to make this, let's say, delay of 2, the animation will play as follows. And if let me just turn this off. If I change my mind to, let's say, something like 7, as you can see, there's automatically bigger delay. Or even better, I can actually add keyframes to this, as many as I want. Maybe space this out a little bit. And if I play this, as you can see, the motion is completely different. Get rid of this one, change it. And as you can see, we are getting much different animation very quickly. And this is very flexible because it's controlled only from, well, these 3 keyframes for the position animation, and delay is controlled from this slider. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is, at the moment, all the layers are not parented to anything, and we're using the position as our driver for animation. So if any of these layers is parented to another layer, and we want to use the parent's position and then delay it, we need to use a little bit of a different expression. So let me explain. Okay, so we have very similar example as before, but in this case, every square is parented to the one above it, all the way to the purple one. The purple has the 3 keyframes as before, but because of the parenting, I need to use a different expression. So let me show you. As before, I'm using the same setup, just defining my sources, defining my slider, which will control the delay over here, then doing the conversion, which is pretty standard. But the final piece of code, I'm not using ValueAtTime in the position property setup. I'm using the actually conversion from world to world, which means that when layers are parented to each other, the position property is not in the composition space, but it's rather in the layer space of the layer it's parented to. If we look at the X property, the main one is at 140, but everything is at 0 because all of these guys are parented to each other. So in After Effects world, that means these layers don't exist in the composition space. They exist, like the square 7, it exists in the square 1 space. So that's why the properties are different. So if you have layers which are parented to another layer and you want to delay them based on the parent's position, you need to use this expression instead of the ValueAtTime, because we simply looking at the parent where it's in the world space, converting it to the layer space, and then we're looking at the anchor point values. So these two anchor point currently are in the same kind of relative space itself, but once they start moving, they will have like a different values in terms of layer to world space. And we're using these anchor point values to delay those layers. It's a little bit weird to kind of get the head around it, and I hope I'm explaining this clearly enough. But this is the kind of one outlier you need to keep in mind. I will write more about this in my blog and provide a bunch of links as well, so you can actually do some more reading, which hopefully will make more sense. In this final example, we have a basic animation as before of squares going left to right being delayed, and as well a delay on the scale. So this way I can easily change this in like from one place, and everything gets fed nicely across the whole layer stack. And this is set up in exactly the same way as before. So position expression, it looks like this. And finally, scale looks like this. I'm simply grabbing the source layer, in this case, source square 1, because this is the one above it. And then I'm grabbing the scale property and just adding the value at time. And all of that is controlled from this single slider. So I can change it, go negative as well, positive. I can even animate this value. So as you can see, this is a very easy way to control loads of layers which have similar animation, and you just want to delay them in time and be really precise about it. In the examples I showed you at the beginning, I used very similar expressions and just apply it to rotation in this case. In this case, I even use it on the compositions themselves. And the last setup involved using, I believe, the shape layers themselves. So if I bring this up, as you can see, I'm using the value at time applied to the shape layer size property. So this is very flexible because you can grab pretty much any value you can think of in After Effects that you can keyframe, except I believe text layers themselves, and then you can just delay them in time. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something, and see you guys next time.